will the Broncos regret giving Russell Wilson 5 years and $250 million? Now, the reason I asked that is Mike Kliss threw that out there, kind of spitballing that, hey, this might be what he ends up asking for. That got twisted into that, hey, Mike Kliss is reporting this, and then he
Right.
backtracked, and then the whole thing. Whatever, who cares?
Right. Okay.
The bottom line is that was the term, and those are the numbers there. For clarity, Russell Wilson is 34 years old. He has 2 years left on his current contract. So if that was tacked on as an extension, he would be getting that money into his 40s.
Right.
Do you think that 5 and 250 in the current climate would be okay, or do you think it would be a mistake for Russell Wilson?
It's a little bit of a 1 year at a time thing. I need to see Russell Wilson in Denver. And I need to see proof of concept for it, and then we can move on. Reality is 5 and 250 is coming. It's coming for quarterbacks. It should probably be something that's for a high level prime quarterback. And I would feel more comfortable extending somebody from Russell Wilson's level to 40 than I would necessarily handing that to the 25-year-old coming off of, his breakout year. Okay, because I do have like if this was Seattle talking about this, it's like, well, we know what Russell Wilson is, what we're going to do around it. Then I would say, it's what you do, go for it. Okay, for the Broncos, it's a little bit more like, well, let's see what he's doing here, etc. And the other thing we have to keep in mind is we're still in the year of salary cap austerity right now because of the COVID, the 2 year thing.
Right.
Those dollars, if you're extending dollars out into 2028, 2029, that's a big difference from what the Browns did with their 5 and 250, which is they're extending it out for like this year, next year, next year, where we know those are big hits in this year. I don't know if those are going to be big hits in 2027, 2028.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would want to give him that contract. I don't know that I want to give most players that contract.
Yeah,
But what leverage do they have?
that's true.
They just gave up every pick from now to Kingdom Come.
Right.
Right? Like what? I mean, what are they going to do? Tell Russell Wilson's representation? No, we're good. We're good. We're not going to do that. He kind of gets whatever he wants at this point within reason. I am fascinated by them more than any other team in the league this year.
Okay.
I don't know what Tanner. I have no idea what they're going to be. I hate admitting that as someone who does this for a living.
Mhm.
I have looked at them a million ways and said to myself, I could see them going 12-5 and being really good.
Yeah.
I could see them winning 8 games.
Yeah.
I have no clue. I think their defense is a lot worse than people think it is.
Yes.
That is the one like weird caveat with them. Like I've seen so many national people jump on television and be like, "Well, they got a top 5 defense." It's like based on what?
Well, it's actually based on, I believe, yards and points. Like they finished in the top 5 last year in one of the categories.
Sure.
I forget. Yeah. But Football Outsiders, we do DVOA, we do breakdowns, and they finished, I believe, 20th. And we're projecting them for 20th or lower. And part of it is they lose guys like Shelby Harris, who are very good ball players,
Right.
who are significant. There's a lot of, Randy Gregory and Bradley Chubb, who, we've heard of them, and we've never seen them string like, 10 good games together combined in their careers. Chubb had a great rookie year, etc. So one of the reasons they look like they had this great defense is because their offense was the slowest moving offense in the world. And if you watched Broncos games, it was Teddy Bridgewater handing off again, handing off some more, going down the 1-2 on the snap count, et cetera, et cetera. And they would move the ball okay. There's an okay offense. They punt, and then the other team get the ball on the 10-yard line. So the defense was always great time of possession, great field position. And we remembered the big names from the old times, so we thought it was a great defense. You're right, though. It's not a strong defense, and that's going to impact them because I think the offense is going to be pretty good.
I do too. And I lead them defensively. Sertan's a really good young player. Simmons is a
Yes.
very good safety.
Yes,
Chubb is good when he's healthy,
which is never.
which is never. Randy Gregory has 16 and a half career sacks
Yes.
and is getting $70 million.
Right.
I like look, I applauded them with the Russell Wilson move. I was just blown away by the amount of money that they paid Randy Gregory.
Yes.
Randy Gregory has literally never been an impact player in his career. Ever.
And he's 30. He's 30.
It's insane. My dad is a saying that I've lived by my whole life. Potential is a fancy word for saying you've never done anything.
Right.
And I mean, it's true. What has he ever done? $70 million for 16 and a half sacks? I look at them defensively. I couldn't even name a linebacker. I mean, other than Sertan, the corners aren't good.
No.
Like, there's no. And Fangio was a horrible head coach. He's a great defensive coordinator.
Right.
Like, losing that guy is like kind of like he's kind of like Wade Phillips, where
Mhm.
Wade Phillips as a head coach doesn't work, but Wade Phillips as a defensive coordinator, every team that ever had him, their defense
Right,
is top 5 in the league, like, immediately.
right,
Um, I don't know. They're a weird team. I don't know what to make of them. I think they're gonna end up being a team that fights for a wild card spot.
right.
All right.
One
Well,
more thought on this. I think
yeah,
Russell Wilson is more likely to ask for 3 and like 170, 3 years and 170 or something like that than 5
okay,
150. Russell Wilson has never wanted to be locked in for a long period of time. He wants to
true.
go up with the market. Now, it might change as he gets close to 40, and he's like, I better lock it in. But I don't know if 5 and 1 and 250 is like legitimately what he would ask for.
Quickly, but do you think he's still a top 10 quarterback?
I think so. We looked at everything after the injury in his hand healed. After it healed, not the first game or two back,
Right.
where Geno Smith's out there, get out there, Russell, do something. And he looked like the old Russell Wilson. I think he's still a top 10
I agree. I think he is too. Although I got to tell you that whole hand injury, right? He rehabbed it 27 hours a day.
quarterback.
Needed more hours apparently.